There is a moment every woman experiences when a man walks into a room and something about him quietly steals attention. It is not always his face. It is not always his body. It is not even the clothes he wears. It is something deeper, something harder to explain, yet impossible to ignore. It is the way he carries himself, the calm in his presence, the quiet certainty in his eyes, the warmth in his smile that feels both inviting and mysterious. Because true male beauty has never been just about appearance. It is about energy, habits, and character. It is about the little things he does every day that slowly build an aura most men never understand. The truth is, some men become more attractive with time, not because they change their face, but because they change the way they live. They build qualities that make women feel drawn, curious, and emotionally connected in ways that go far beyond looks. And that is where real attraction begins. Not at the surface, but in the soul. In a world full of noise, there is something deeply magnetic about a man who feels grounded, purposeful, and genuinely comfortable in who he is. The kind of man whose presence feels strong without trying too hard, whose words feel thoughtful, and whose energy feels rare. So if you have ever wondered what truly makes a man beautiful, not just handsome, but unforgettable, stay with me. Because what we are about to uncover are the habits that quietly transform ordinary men into the kind of men women never stop thinking about. The first habit that makes a man truly beautiful is his ability to be fully present, and this quality is far rarer and far more powerful than most people realize. In a world where almost everyone is distracted, where eyes constantly move toward phones, where conversations are half-hearted, and where attention has become one of the most expensive things a person can give, a man who is genuinely present feels different the moment he enters your space. There is something deeply attractive about a man who slows down enough to really notice. He notices the small shift in your tone when something is bothering you, even when you say you are fine. He notices what makes your eyes light up when you talk about something you love. He remembers little details, not because he is trying to impress you, but because when he listens, he truly listens. And that kind of attention creates something every woman quietly longs for: the feeling of being seen. Not looked at, not admired from a distance, but deeply seen for who she is beneath the surface. A present man makes a woman feel like for a moment the busy world becomes quiet. His attention is not scattered. His mind is not somewhere else. His energy is right there, fully in the moment, creating a kind of connection that feels warm, rare, and incredibly intimate without needing grand gestures. This is what separates shallow charm from deep attraction. Charm can catch attention, but presence captures the heart. Because when a man is fully present, he creates emotional safety. He makes a woman feel heard when she speaks, understood when she opens up, and valued in a way that goes beyond compliments or sweet words. And that feeling stays with her long after the conversation ends. She remembers how calm she felt around him, how easy it was to be herself, how refreshing it felt to not compete with distractions for his attention. Presence also reveals confidence, because a man who can be fully in the moment is not constantly chasing approval, checking who is watching, or trying to perform for attention. He is secure enough to give his focus completely, and that quiet certainty becomes magnetic. Women feel it. They are drawn to it because it feels real, grounded, and deeply masculine in the healthiest sense: steady, calm, and intentional. A man who is present does not rush moments that matter. He understands that connection is built in small moments, in listening closely, in speaking thoughtfully, in making eye contact that feels sincere, in showing through his actions that he values the person in front of him. And perhaps that is what makes him beautiful. He makes people feel important, not through flashy gestures, but through genuine attention. In the end, what many women find irresistible is not perfection, but presence. Because in a distracted world, a man who gives his full heart, full mind, and full attention in a moment creates something unforgettable. And that quiet habit alone can make him more beautiful than any perfect face ever could. The second habit that makes a man truly beautiful is quiet confidence. And there is something incredibly magnetic about it because it speaks without ever needing to shout. Real confidence is not loud, flashy, or desperate for attention. It does not walk into a room trying to prove anything. It does not interrupt others to be heard. It does not seek validation in every conversation, every compliment, or every glance. Instead, quiet confidence is calm, grounded, and deeply secure. It is the kind of strength that can be felt long before it is fully understood. A quietly confident man carries himself with a natural ease, as if he has made peace with who he is. He knows his strengths, but he is also honest about his flaws. He does not pretend to be perfect, and because of that, he feels real. He is comfortable in his own skin, and that comfort creates an energy that is deeply attractive because it makes everyone around him feel at ease too. Women often find themselves drawn to this kind of man, not because he is trying to impress them, but because he is not trying at all. He is simply being himself, fully and unapologetically. There is something undeniably appealing about a man who speaks with purpose instead of speaking just to fill silence, a man who listens without feeling the need to dominate the room, and a man who can stand alone without looking lonely because his sense of worth does not depend on outside approval. That kind of confidence feels strong, mature, and emotionally steady. It creates a sense of safety, and safety is one of the deepest forms of attraction. A woman feels that she can relax around a man like this because his energy is not chaotic, insecure, or unpredictable. He is not constantly seeking reassurance. He is not playing games. He is not trying to be someone he is not. He is simply solid, and solidity is beautiful. Quiet confidence also shows in how a man handles challenges. He does not crumble at every setback or become defensive at every criticism. He listens, learns, adjusts, and keeps moving forward with calm determination. That resilience makes him even more attractive because it reveals depth of character. It shows that his strength comes from within, not from image or ego. And perhaps what makes quiet confidence so powerful is that it allows kindness to shine through without weakness, leadership to appear without control, and masculinity to feel warm rather than intimidating. It is confidence with humility, strength with grace, and certainty without arrogance. In a world where so many people perform for attention, a quietly confident man stands out because he feels authentic. His presence is steady. His words carry weight. His calm feels powerful. And women notice that because deep down what captures the heart is rarely noise. It is the quiet strength of a man who knows who he is, stands firmly in it, and makes that confidence feel effortless. That is the kind of beauty that does not fade with time. It only grows stronger, richer, and more unforgettable. The third habit that makes a man truly beautiful is living with purpose, because there is something deeply attractive about a man whose life has direction, meaning, and a reason to rise each morning with fire in his heart. Purpose changes the way a man walks, the way he speaks, the way he carries his energy, and even the way he faces hardship. A man with purpose does not drift through life hoping something exciting happens. He creates movement, builds momentum, and chases something greater than comfort. It is not always about fame, wealth, or status. Sometimes purpose is much quieter than that. It can be the drive to become a better version of himself, the determination to build a meaningful career, the commitment to his family, or the passion to leave a positive mark on the world. What makes it beautiful is not the size of the mission, but the depth of his dedication to it. Women can feel this energy almost instantly because a man with purpose carries a kind of inner spark that makes him come alive. His eyes hold ambition. His words carry intention. His actions have meaning. He does not waste all of his life chasing distractions, empty attention, or short-lived thrills, because his heart is focused on building something real. And that focus becomes magnetic because it reveals discipline, maturity, and strength of character. There is something incredibly compelling about a man who values his time, protects his energy, and understands that every day is a chance to move closer to the life he believes in. He becomes attractive not because he is busy, but because he is intentional. He has standards, he has vision, he has a quiet hunger to grow, and growth is beautiful. A purposeful man also brings emotional stability because he is anchored by something deeper than moods or temporary feelings. He does not lose himself easily in chaos because he knows what matters to him. He can handle setbacks with resilience because his eyes remain on the bigger picture. That steady determination creates a sense of trust, and trust is one of the strongest forms of attraction. Women are often drawn to men who feel like they are going somewhere, not because they want to be taken along for the ride, but because purpose creates energy, and energy is contagious. It inspires, it excites, it awakens curiosity. It makes a man feel alive in a way that is impossible to fake. And perhaps what makes a purposeful man truly beautiful is that he invites others to rise too. His discipline encourages growth. His passion inspires action. His focus makes those around him think bigger, dream deeper, and live more intentionally. He becomes more than attractive. He becomes memorable because his life feels meaningful. In a world where many people are lost, distracted, or simply surviving, a man who lives with purpose stands out like a light in the dark. He moves with direction. He speaks with conviction. He carries a quiet fire that warms everyone close enough to feel it. And that kind of fire, steady, focused, and deeply rooted, is one of the most beautiful things a man can possess. The fourth habit that makes a man truly beautiful is kindness backed by strength, because there is something deeply moving about a man who has power in his character, yet chooses gentleness in the way he treats people. Real kindness is not weakness, and it is not softness without boundaries. It is controlled strength. It is the quiet decision to remain respectful in a world that often rewards harshness, to remain patient when frustration would be easier, and to remain compassionate without losing self-respect. A truly kind man understands that how he makes people feel matters. He speaks with warmth, listens without judgment, and treats others, whether strangers, friends, or the people closest to him, with dignity and care. That simple habit creates a kind of beauty that reaches far beyond appearance because kindness touches the heart in ways looks never can. Women often notice this more than men realize. They notice how he treats people when there is nothing to gain. They notice how he handles difficult moments. They notice whether his strength feels safe or threatening, warm or cold. And a man whose strength carries kindness becomes deeply attractive because his presence feels both powerful and comforting at the same time. He is the kind of man who can lead without out-controlling, protect without suffocating, and stand firm without becoming cruel. There is a steadiness in him that feels grounding, and that grounding creates emotional safety, the kind of safety that allows trust, closeness, and real connection to grow. Kindness also reveals confidence, because only a secure man can be genuinely gentle without feeling that it makes him less masculine. He does not confuse toughness with disrespect. He does not think cruelty makes him strong. He understands that true strength is shown in self-control, emotional maturity, and the ability to choose grace even when life becomes hard. That kind of man becomes unforgettable because his kindness is not performative. It is who he is at his core. It shows in the little things, in remembering details that matter, in offering encouragement when someone feels low, in being thoughtful with his words, and in carrying himself with a quiet respect that makes others feel valued. Women are naturally drawn to this because deep attraction is not built only on excitement. It is built on how a man makes her feel in his presence. A kind man makes her feel safe enough to be herself, appreciated enough to feel seen, and respected enough to feel emotionally secure. That creates a connection far deeper than surface-level charm, and perhaps the most beautiful part of kindness is that it never loses its power with time. Looks may change, trends may fade, but a good heart becomes more attractive the longer it is known. The man who chooses kindness while remaining strong becomes rare, and rarity creates value. In a noisy world filled with ego, games, and emotional distance, a genuinely kind man feels refreshing, warm, and deeply magnetic. His beauty is not loud, but it stays with you. It lingers in memory, it leaves a mark on the heart, and in the end, that may be the most powerful kind of beauty a man can ever have, the kind that makes people feel better simply because he exists in their world. The fifth habit that makes a man truly beautiful is emotional depth, because beneath every strong connection, beneath every meaningful relationship, And beneath every unforgettable attraction is a man who knows how to connect, not just through words, but through feeling, honesty, and genuine understanding. There is something quietly powerful about a man who is not afraid of emotion, not afraid of vulnerability, and not afraid to be real. In a world where many men are taught to hide what they feel, to wear silence like armor, and to act untouched by pain, love, fear, or longing, the man who understands his inner world becomes rare, and rarity is deeply attractive. Emotional depth does not mean being dramatic or overly expressive. It means having self-awareness. It means understanding what moves him, what hurts him, what inspires him, and what matters most to his heart. It means he can speak honestly about life, relationships, dreams, and struggles without hiding behind pride or pretending he feels nothing. Women are naturally drawn to this because emotional depth creates the kind of connection surface attraction never can. A handsome face may catch attention for a moment, but emotional depth captures the heart for a lifetime. It makes conversations richer, silence more comfortable, and connection more meaningful. A man with emotional depth listens not only to words, but to feelings beneath those words. He notices what is left unsaid. He understands tone, emotion, and subtle shifts in energy. He responds with care instead of reacting with ego. That emotional intelligence makes his presence feel warm, safe, and deeply human. It allows a woman to feel understood in a way that is incredibly intimate, not through physical closeness, but through emotional connection. And there is something undeniably magnetic about a man who can be strong while also being open, steady while also being tender, and confident while still being honest about his fears, hopes, and heart. That balance creates a beautiful kind of masculinity, one that feels powerful without becoming cold, deep without becoming heavy, and emotionally available without losing strength. Emotional depth also makes a man more meaningful because he is not trapped in shallow thinking. He reflects, he grows, he learns from pain instead of running from it. He becomes wiser through life's challenges, softer in the right places, stronger in the right ways, and more understanding with every lesson he carries. That growth becomes visible in the way he loves, the way he communicates, and the way he makes others feel seen and accepted. Women remember men like this because they leave more than an impression, they leave an emotional imprint. Their words stay in the heart. Their understanding feels unforgettable. Their presence feels rare. In a world full of quick attraction and shallow connection, a man with emotional depth feels like something real, something lasting, something deeply beautiful. And perhaps that is what makes him unforgettable, not just how he looks when he enters a room, but how deeply he is felt long after he is gone. So in the end, what truly makes a man beautiful is not something he wears, not the shape of his face, not the size of his bank account, and not how loudly he tries to prove himself to the world. Real beauty in a man is built quietly, day by day, through the habits he chooses and the character he lives by. It is found in the man who is fully present, who listens deeply, who carries quiet confidence, who lives with purpose, who leads with kindness, and who has the emotional depth to connect in a way that feels honest and rare. That is the kind of man who stays in a woman's mind long after the moment is over. That is the kind of energy that feels strong, warm, and impossible to fake. And ladies, once you recognize these qualities, your whole view of attraction begins to change. You stop being impressed by surface charm and start noticing substance. You begin to see that what makes a man unforgettable is not how perfectly he appears, but how deeply he makes others feel seen, safe, inspired, and understood. That kind of beauty does not fade with time. It grows richer, stronger, and more magnetic with every year. So now I want to hear from you. Out of these 5 habits, which one makes a man most attractive in your eyes? Is it his confidence, his purpose, his kindness, his presence, or his emotional depth? Share your thoughts in the comments because your voice matters here. And if this message spoke to your heart, stay connected because there is so much more to uncover about attraction, connection, and the quiet qualities that make someone truly unforgettable.